here, Very XS Customs. Today we're having a look at our HBX Devastator rock crawler. We picked this up from Banggood. So this is a 124 scale rock crawler. To me it looks more like a monster truck, especially with these tyres and the fact that it's got four-wheel steering. So we'll remove the body and have a look what's underneath. So as you can see, it's got a nice full alloy frame here. All-in-one receiver speed controller as well. Now what's interesting was this, it's actually running a 5-wire servo, which I've never ever seen anywhere before. I'm not sure if that's to try to keep it so you can't buy any other aftermarket servos for it, or if there's some other reason behind it. But it is what it is. I mean, for the price, even if you have to upgrade it, doesn't really matter too much. It's a good solid platform. So it's got locked diff front and rear. With a little gearbox here. Now these motors in these are not actually a straight motor, they are geared down motors. So there's actually quite a large variety of these. You can actually pick them up from AliExpress, Banggood, anywhere like that, and only sort of $6 to $10. So not quite sure what the RPM rating on this is, but we're going to guess it's sort of around 300 RPM. We've picked one up that's 6,000 RPM, which should directly bolt in, which will be interesting to try. So the servos on these, at a guess, they're just going to be cheap plastic geared servos. How long they last, I don't know. It looks like they do. They've got a servo saver on there, so should soak up a bit of impact. It's basically, the front and the rear, they look identical. The battery is actually hidden and closed here. Now it isn't actually a proper little battery. If you look through the manual, you can see it's a proper battery. It's not actually physically built into the unit, so it is replaceable. So, and you also get your manual here, which comes with some stickers, which sort of makes me laugh. So they give you the stickers, but clearly they've applied some of them already. It gives you the options to put all the tail lights on if you wish. Just very basic, your normal manual. It's all well labelled, everything's got nice photos, so it's easy to see. It makes it very easy to understand what you've got to do for your rear steer. And it comes with a USB cable, which is good to see. Now that all little RC cars now are coming with USB cables, rather than you getting a Chinese wall adapter and then you've got to either A, find an adapter that's going to work, or B, buy a whole new cable. And everything's labelled, so if you break anything, it's got all of your part numbers here you're going to need. Here's the motor here I was talking about. As you can see, it runs a little geared down reduction to slow it down for crawler. And then a nice detailed instruction of how the discs go together. And everything's pretty easy to see, It makes it easy because a lot of the companies don't actually include very good assembly guides if you break anything. And then all your basic sort of stuff in the back. Now the reason we picked this up is because we're planning on actually making this more into a monster truck, because to me that's what it screams. So we've actually got our patrol bodies, which we've been making, which I'm sure you would have seen in some of the earlier videos, and we're going to mount one of them up, try to make it a little bit faster, see if it may do a jump, backflip, So all in all, it looks like it's going to be a pretty capable little crawler, but there's only one way to find out, so let's get it outside and give it a run. So we're back from giving this thing a run. Performed pretty well. There's a couple of things that could be improved. Biggest thing, I still thought the tyres were a little bit hard. Like, they don't really have much grip to them. Obviously this truck doesn't weigh a lot either, so you don't really have any weight to play with. So it'd be nice to have something a little bit softer compared. I've got some other tyres here. I'll just grab them. So you take it on something like this, and you can see you've got. It's obviously a little different because you're not on a tyre, but just feel it, just the resistance. If I put the same sort of pressure on this tyre and run it across the surface, there's a lot more slip. So obviously you've got more grip, they're more expensive, they're a lot smaller diameter, but it's the sort of thing that people buy aftermarket to make these a little bit more capable. Now obviously the articulation on this I was impressed with how much it actually got. The rocks you would have seen me crawling over were probably a little bit out of scale, but it was all I could find sort of without going too far. The drive shafts was something that everyone said would break, but I've sort of ran it for about an hour in total. They're still all fine. It doesn't even look like it's even been run underneath. There is a motor. Ideally I'd like a little bit faster. I'm not a big fan of crawlers as such. I like a little bit more speed. And obviously a little bit more grip probably would have transformed it as well. But the worst thing about this though still is the fact that yes, you've got your all-in-one receiver, but the battery's hidden inside. So if your battery runs flat, you can't just pull it out and replace it and put another one and keep going. You've got to stop what you're doing, plug your battery in, and wait for it to charge. Now that's really the biggest downside of this thing. Other than the tires, they're not great, but they're not terrible. They've got some, sponginess to them, so it could be a lot worse. And obviously, if you ever wanted to upgrade this servos, you can't upgrade them. You'd have to rip everything out and replace it all. But you can pick up pretty reasonable servos and little speed controllers and micro receivers pretty cheap. So if you guys are interested in pick this up, the link is in the description. I've actually got another one of these coming as well, and in the next video we're actually going to convert this into a monster truck, make it a little bit faster. So until the next video, have a good one.